Hi everyone, in this video I'll be discussing the options on parting out a C5 Corvette to get parts for your Factory 5 GTM Supercar. Hi everyone and welcome to the channel about building a kit car and other car topics. If you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the notification buttons below and share with others on social media. A few videos ago, I talked about someone parting out a few Corvettes to not only get the parts for their GTM, but also to make some funds to build the car. I thought I'd go through the process, if you're thinking about it, to show you how to maximize this option. Let's familiarize ourselves with the C5. The C5 was made between 1997 and 2004. All of them basically look the same. Mostly small nuances were changed between the models in suspension, colors, injectors, nothing super big. So for the most part, any of these cars are fair game. When you go through the list of parts you'll need for the GTM, it is things like gas tanks, engine and harness, suspension, but not the shocks and not the leaf springs. Nothing is specific to 1 year's model. Now the only thing that jumps out is the magnetic ride suspension. The magnetic ride suspension is in the shock itself, and since we're not using them, it doesn't matter when parting out. So let's go through a list of options that came on the different years of C5 Corvettes. In the second year, they added a convertible and active handling. In 1999, they added the heads-up display and telescopic steering wheel. In 2000, it was just new colors. And in 2001, a list of 30 things, like new intake manifold, soundproofing, different cam, different engine block, different exhaust manifolds, heavier torque tube, and also the Z06 model, which is the souped-up street race model, had more horsepower, bigger tires, different transmission, stronger rear differential. In 2002, the Z06 changes were simple things like the cam, just little tweaks. And then in 2003, new fuel system, Anniversary Collector's Edition. In 2004, they refined the Z06 shocks. So if you are buying a C5 Corvette to drive, it makes sense to buy a 2001 and newer. It will be a better overall experience. But to part out, what are we looking for? Most of the cars had black interior, only some did not. Given there is more black interior out there would probably be more people with worn black seats and broken interior parts. So looking for a car that has a decent interior that is black would be financially fruitful. A manual transmission will get more on the used market compared to an automatic, even though it's the opposite when you buy them. Now keep in mind that these cars used a 4L65E automatic transmission, but it is not a version that all other cars use that is bolted onto the engine. The engine is mounted to a torque tube, and the trans is mounted after that in between it and the differential. So the trans is in the rear of the car. They did this to balance the weight of the whole car. So if someone needs a 4L65E, it will not be your transmission from the Corvette unless they own a Corvette also. Now you could also do some research on how many models were sold with blue paint compared to yellow or whatever, but I think that is less of an issue compared to the color of the interior, since the exterior, it is easier to paint and match. I would also assume that a hardtop is worth more than a convertible, but I'm actually not sure about that. And then if you're going to do a GTM, you have all the parts needed from the donor, plus some cash to help with your build. The GTM manual has about 200 pages dedicated to parting out your Corvette. Nothing like having a how-to guide to do the work. And keep in mind, all the parts you need can also be bought new from GM and GM Performance. You do not have to use the donor car at all. So I hope this sheds some light on what to think about when looking to part out a C5 Corvette for your GTM Supercar. Till next time, please hit the subscribe and notification buttons below, and have a great day.